Yes, sir.
Going back to the Tea Party, do you expect it to stay amongst the Republican Party? And if not, does that lead the Republican Party towards the middle?
The question is, does the Tea Party get ensconced in the Republican Party, and if not, does it go toward the middle? You know, this is two things happen here. You know, historically, when you get movements like this, you know, you have the Whigs and they get all split up, and then they sprout Republicans, right? And then the Whigs die off, and all you got left is Republican. Usually, what happens is both of the parties are really good at co-opting their dissenters, and so you'll get candidates who are hybrid candidates who can straddle kind of this traditional Republican, insurgent Republican thing, and those candidates will win, and it'll all, you know, be the Republican Party again. That's one model. The other model is that, you know, when parties come into power and stay there for a long time, like the Texas Democrats, they split. So, you know, if you're old enough, you remember that we had, for a long time, well, is that a Connolly Democrat or is that a Yarborough Democrat, right? It was the two wings of the Democratic Party. All the Connolly Democrats are now Republicans. They were Connolly Democrats, and then they were Reagan Republicans, right? And now they're just Republicans. You know, the problem for the Republican Party is that the Tea Party is one of those things that either pulls your party to the right or becomes big enough that it becomes the party, and the people that are left behind are the ones that are, you know, the kind of traditional party people.
What if the Tea Party split off with the third party that decided to vote for Republicans?
In our polls, it's really interesting. In our polls, you know, you sort of draw these, you know, the Republicans have, I can't remember the numbers off the top of my head, but say the Republican self-identified generic vote is 38%, right? When you say, if there was a Tea Party, what would you do? About 24% goes Tea Party and leaves 14% Republican. Actually, the way the parties break, if you break it into three parties in that way, the Democrats are the largest party, but no party has the majority. And in fact, you probably elect candidates with Republicans voting for the Tea Party candidate or Tea Party people voting for the Republican candidate.
That third party, I mentioned a minute ago, a third party hurt Bush 1 in 92 and also hurt Democrats in 2000 when Nader didn't pull out just enough votes to...
Well, Ross Perot took re-election away from Bush Sr.
Yeah.
You know, and in some ways, you know, I joke about this, but it's, you know, it's funny because it's true. If you go to Tea Party rallies, you will always see, or I've always seen, you know, half dozen or a dozen rallies that I've been to. There are always some United We Stand T-shirts out there. Those are the Ross Perot guys. They've been pissed off for a long time. But it's, you know, to some extent, it's the same vote. It's kind of a libertarian. You know, some of them are social conservatives. That's fuzzy. Some of them are social conservatives. Some of them not. They're almost all fiscal conservatives, and they all have kind of a strong libertarian point to them. So, but yeah, they could. You know, split-offs could influence an election. If you get to a place where the Republican Party has chosen an establishment candidate, and somebody's pissed off enough that they want to run as a third-party candidate, and if you think about it, it's squint. This could be a Sarah Palin, right? We've nominated Mitt Romney, and I'm just not going to abide that. And I have a boss, and I have a TV show, and I'm ready. And she could just split off and run. You know, that's kind of what Ross Perot is. It's entirely possible. So, one more and I'll quit.
Isn't there some concern at the national level in this past election? You saw where the Tea Party candidate won the Republican primary and then got destroyed in some of the general elections. I mean, they you know, I guess the bar was probably a little bit closer. But, I mean, is there any concern that, you know, maybe the Perry campaign wins this, the primary, but then, you know, again, as you said, they go back to the middle?
Yeah, the question is what happens in a general election. You know, you're sort of set up right now. Well, I'm going to start predicting the future, so you should all, you know, hide. It sets up now as an environmental election, by which I mean you're going to have Obama and not Obama, whoever that is. And it's basically going to be a referendum on how we're feeling at that point. Unemployment is at 9% or 10%, and the economy still stinks. You know, our 401ks are all 301ks. And, you know, I mean, all of that kind of stuff. that's going to be a not Obama election. You know, I was watching a show the other night, and I'll quit on this. I was watching a show on PBS the other night. It was the last part of this series, it's a good series on Abraham and Mary Todd Lincoln. And I'd forgotten this, but it reminded me that it's 1864, and Lincoln is getting the stuffing knocked out of him in the election. McClellan was killing him. And then Atlanta fell 2 weeks before the election. And he won in a landslide. Because it was an environmental election. Because it's an election where it's not, you know, do we like Abraham or not? You know, he wasn't on the penny yet, so you know, still a question. It's not that question. It's do we like our circumstance or not? And they voted their circumstance. And I think, you know, looking at it now, 12 months ahead of time, it's kind of what it looks like it's going to be. I reserve the right to be completely wrong. So, thank you all very, very much for having me.
What an insightful presentation. We are very, very thankful. Ross, thank you for coming. Later this week, you and the other members and investors of the Round Rock Chamber of Commerce are going to get a notice from us that the Round Rock Chamber is launching a YouTube video channel. And you will be able to see videos like this. If there's anybody you know that missed this luncheon, but you think would be interested in seeing it, we'll get it posted, the video posted shortly. So after all of us are done watching the video that Ross told us about, where people are reaching into the ground, getting bitten by catfishes, we can all watch some of those Round Rock speakers as well. Hey, we got some prizes, door prizes, before we take off. And let's pull a few of those. Thank you, Chantel. What's first up? First prize to give away is a baseball cap from the Round Rock Chamber, and the winner is our friend Russ Gibbs from Texas A&M Health Science Center. All right, Russ. Next up, we've got 4 box seats to an upcoming Round Rock Express game. First place, Round Rock Express. And the winner of this is from our bank, Mike Shaw. Congrats, Mike. And we've got bowling from Mel's Low Star Lanes. It's a family fun bowl, hour and a half. And winning that prize from Austin Community College, Linda Young. Congratulations, Linda. And a 3-month subscription to the Leader, Round Rock Leader, and winning that one, we go to the bottom, is Tammy Hufford from Focus, Community Magazine. There she is, Tammy. Again, thank you all for coming. We hope you have a great rest of the week, and we appreciate you being here.